name and mention, I'm Waikinya, Clanton. I happen to be the founder of a little group of about 300,000 black women from across this country who decided about maybe 100 days or so ago that we would galvanize, come together, and elect the first, not only the first woman, but the first black woman president of the United States. Now, it's not often that I get down here to the Pines, okay? I'm a Madison County girl. And hopefully, after tonight, y'all invite me back. But seriously, I am super excited and grateful for tonight's invitation. Because in less than 10 days, the ground will begin to shake here in America. The soul will be infused with not only the soul of people, but the voices of people. As millions of Americans head to the polls to elect Kamala Harris as President of the United States of America. On November the 5th, we will reap the harvest that we have sown. I know that folks here, they tend to overlook, folks in elections tend to overlook Mississippi. We all know that. That's on them though. Because let me tell you something. Something is happening here. You might not can see it right away, but it's happening. If you're paying attention to the trends, last year we came within an inch of flipping this state, making it purple. So don't tell me what God can't do. Okay? So we just gonna keep toiling. So see, I'm a country girl. I know I say I'm from Canton. Yes, I'm from the city limits, but my grandma gardened my entire life. And one thing that she taught me was about tilling the soil. Mississippi, we have been tilling the soil. Now, what happens when you till the soil? Somebody tell me. I know y'all know.
It brings up good ground so you can plant.
Break up that good ground so that something can grow. We've been tilling the soil. We've been breaking the ground so something can grow. Now, are you ready to reap your harvest?
Yes.
I said, are you ready
Yes.
to reap your harvest? So much is happening in our country. We are experiencing imminent threats to our civil liberties. We are watching the erosion of the fabric of American democracy. And we are resisting the rise of tyranny under the veil of white supremacy. We are in a state of emergency. And everything that we know and we love about this country is in jeopardy. Tonight, I stand before you confirming that we are truly being challenged as a nation. Our moral center is off. We are being divided by our own selfish motivation and harmful rhetoric of who gets to decide and who is important. Well, I argue that we all get to decide.
Amen.
Because we are all important.
Yep.
And this is our fight. The struggle for power in this country is real. But nothing is more powerful than the vote. There's an age-old construct that is destroying us. It has placed us in a political tug of war. This construct of haves and have-nots is causing us to unravel at the seams. The wave of television and internet have flooded our brainwaves with obscene amounts of misinformation, false narratives, misleading polls, and misconceptions of the truth of the matter at hand. The matter of who and what matters. See, it matters if your president is capable, competent, and passionate.
Oh, sure it does. Yes. Especially that last word.
It matters that the president is committed to protecting and defending the Constitution at all costs.
Amen.
And that they believe in democracy and not autocracy.
Yes.
It matters that they are not obsessed with the overregulation of women's bodies, but they are committed to ensuring that women remain in control of their health and their wealth, and that all of their rights remain intact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can give it up for that, because we are not going back. It matters that the president is not bought and sold by foreign governments and billionaires.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
instead is interested
In the people.
and invested in the financial wealth and health of the people of this country.
Yes.
See, it matters that the president doesn't weaponize the U.S. military against his own people, but instead ensures that the First Amendment remains upheld and protected in this country. It matters that the president believes in public education and is not in the whitewashing and the overhaul and erasure of American history, whether it's good or bad.
Or bad. That's right.
See, it matters that we have a president that supports policies that would regulate us, that doesn't support policies that would regulate us back to the days of slavery and servitude in this country, but instead one who's willing to work to identify ways in which to expand and secure our civil liberties. It matters that we can trust and be proud of our president. It matters that we get up and we show up and we vote for Kamala Harris for president of the United States. See, it matters because we matter. Because Mississippi matters. She and her people matter.
Mm-hmm.
The current state of affairs in this state matters. The fate and the state of our country, the place that we get to call home, it matters, y'all. See, the messages that we see in the media may be off, but the people are on.
Mm.
The people are on to the propaganda, they're on to the lies and the mistruths, and they're not going for it. The people know what they want. And what they want is a strong, capable, competent, qualified leader that is Kamala Harris. See, the people know that the courts ought to be balanced and that they should be blind to bias, but bold in what is fair and just in this country.
Mm-hmm.
They know they want to trust again. They know that they want to believe in the promises of America again. Hope has to be restored, y'all. Because we, the people, deserve it. Not just in the office of president, but in every office, whether it is your office or the post office.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Leadership matters. And it matters that we, the people, get to decide our leaders and our leaders not decide us.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm energized, okay? I've been on the road. I've been on the road for the last 5 days. I left the coast and came straight here to Pike County because this is serious. It is serious and it is urgent. And it requires each of us, all of us, bought in and sold on the promise of not only today, but tomorrow. We all have a stake. We all have a duty to ensure that this thing that we love, this America we love, continues to be in pursuit of a more perfect union. One that fulfills the dream for the country that we all long it to be. One that we all get to enjoy. One that's free of tyranny and shame and treason. One that is not only conceptualizes the ideas of a more perfect union, but also lives up to it. One where we can once again utter the words, proud to be an American, and we can actually mean it.
And mean it, yes.
Pike County, it feels mighty good to stand up here before you all tonight with this message of hope and this promise for our future. Not just for our future as Americans, but for our future as Mississippians. It is not lost on me that we gather here in Summit, Mississippi, that almost 30 miles from here, more than 60 years ago, a fire was lit in this community. A fire that was lit when Herbert Lee was slain at the hands of white supremacists.
All right.
I call it everything, y'all. Texas 119, Kansas, Mississippi. We don't sugarcoat nothing. And the truth of the matter is that when you think about the fact that the color of someone's skin could deem them to be superior, so superior that they could gun down a man
Take a life.
in plain sight with witnesses and with no consequences. Something wrong with that. It's something wrong when there's someone running for president who shares that same ideology. It's something wrong with that. And I don't have to tell the people of Pike County or Amite County or the surrounding counties what that means. It's not lost on me the sacrifices that were made for me to be a living embodiment of my ancestors' wildest dreams. It's not lost on me that I stand here at this podium before this crowd to declare in this moment that this is our time. And that this moment is for him, Herbert Lee. He's all the motivation that I need to get this done on November the 5th. See, as we commemorate the 60th anniversary of Freedom Summer, I'm reminded that Mississippi has never shared in the luxury of rose-colored glasses. Because 60 years later, we are still fighting the realities of white supremacy that forces us into a constant state of emergency. Whereas we've normalized this term in application of our current state of affairs, I venture to say that not only are we in a state of emergency, we are in a state of urgency. Because democracy is indeed on the line. Our freedom is on the line. The fate of this nation is on the line.
Yes.
And that, my friends, is more urgent than anything I have ever seen. I am so grateful to the leadership of Pike County. Whether you are elected, whether you volunteer, whether you serve as chairman of this party, thank you for what you're doing here. Because see, y'all get it. You understand that the road that has been laid before us is purposely unstraight. No one has to remind us every 4 years that we're in the most consequential election of our lifetime, because in Mississippi, unfortunately, we deal with the consequences of elections every single day. Whether it's healthcare, education, jobs, housing, or voting rights, our future hangs in the balance at the hands of people who never want to see us free. In Mississippi, we face the realities of looming inequality, but today, I bring to you messages of hope. See, hope and the promise of democracy, hope is in the promise of democracy itself. Hope is the fulfillment of the promise that in order to enact this thing and obtain this thing called democracy, we must work to ensure social equality. Social equality looks like access to quality and affordable health care. Social equality looks like jobs that pay livable wages. Social equality looks like quality, competitive education that prepares our children for the future. Social equality looks like a Mississippi where poverty is no longer exists, and that democracy is free, fair, and accessible to all. Pike County, we are in a state of urgency.
Yes, ma'am.
And that urgency requires that we shift our elements into action. See, it's time to take action. When you live in a state where the highest infant mortality rate has the highest infant mortality rate of any other state in the country, a place where black women die 4 times as much as white women in childbirth, right? But then we call ourselves pro-life, but we won't expand Medicaid. Okay, it's time to take action. So it's time to take action when 20% of the state lives in persistent prevalent poverty, and a third of those people are children, but the government allocates more than $90 million in TANF funds to wealthy pro football Hall of Famers, building volleyball courts, and giving wrestling superstars payouts, but returning millions of dollars to feed hungry children in the summertime. It's time to take some action. Okay? It's time to take action when black people in Mississippi make up only 40% of the population, but yet 62% of those who are in prison in our state. It's time to take action. See, it's time to take action when you live in a state that claims it's good for business, but it cares nothing for its people. It's time to take action.
All right.
Mississippi,
Yes,
let me reframe. Pike County.
ma'am.
We understand the need to mobilize every voter everywhere, every election, no? But we can't stop there.
Yes, ma'am.
See, civic engagement is a year-round sport. It's a contact sport, right? Voting is just part of the game. We must continue our actions beyond the vote. We have to take it to the courtroom, to the classroom, to the boardroom, to the Capitol. See, we are can't stop, won't stop type of people. Too much is on the line for us to be on the sidelines. Shirley Chisholm once said, you don't make progress by standing on the sidelines, whimpering and complaining. You make progress by implementing ideas. We have to be relentless when we are using our voice. As we head to the poll on Tuesday, November the 5th, it's important to know that we're voting beyond just a person or a political party.
Yes, ma'am.
We are voting for the promise of our future, a better tomorrow into infinity. But we have to do more than just mobilize. We have to organize, we have to strategize, and most importantly, we have to vocalize, y'all. It's time to put some vigor and some valor with our voice and our vote. Ain't no room in this fight for fear. It's time to be focused. It's time to reclaim what is ours. It is time to own our power, and it's time to get this done. Thank you.